All right, yes, recording. Super. Hello, everybody. Okay, a few messages coming in today. Thank you for those. You might be able to tell from my slightly husky voice. I have a bit of a chesty thing going on. It's not a cold. I will explain my thoughts momentarily. It's kind of a reminder today. Secondly, apologies for not making it into the Facebook group on what was supposed to be Wednesdays. It's been such a crazy few weeks with brownies, kids stuff, Joe doing like work stuff, and I've had bits and bobs to do as well. And it's just kind of, and kids not even going to bed on time and stuff. I've been dealing with bedtime until 8:30, 9 o'clock some nights, which is very unusual. So my apologies that our usual kind of Facebook Monday/Wednesday has not been happening as regularly as we would like over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Hopefully things are settling down now. Joe's not out so much. All the parents' evenings are dealt with for this term at least. And the other bits and bobs that have been going on in the evenings will be settling down over the Christmas period, and may or may not rise up again in January, but we shall see. So yes, onto the main bit. So yeah, there's been, let me just pick up my phone. I've put it down here so I don't get distracted, but there's been like ankle injuries, a bit of a knee thing, some back stuff that's not going away. And it's that, as I know it annoys you, it annoys me too. Okay, because I want it to go away, and it's my job to help you make it go away. Stomach thing, left elbow, right arm, left ankle. Okay, so a few joint things. And I know there's something that's not in the group as well that's been sent separately, but that's fine. All good. So yes, this is a big thing that is difficult to accept, but I want you to set aside your doubts. Okay, if you could have a box and it had doubts written on it, okay, or perhaps a little bit of Alan Watts insecurity, anxieties, etc. If you could have a box and put all that stuff in it, I want you to have it, literally imagine it right now, and just, I'm going to put it over there. For now, I'm going to ignore that. Okay. Next job is to remind you of how powerful and how incredible you are. Okay, so I'm going to use the word God. You might want to interchange it with universe, because the word God comes with all kinds of religious connotations, and not everybody likes it. For me, these words are the same. Okay, these words are the same to me. God and the universe, the same. Doesn't matter what religion somebody comes from, the same. Okay, ultimately, whether it's Islam, whether it's Hindu, whether it's Christianity, whether it's Judaism, they're all looking at the same thing. Okay, they have different texts, they have different habits and behaviors and foods to eat or foods not to eat, or whatever. The ultimate thing, God, the universe. Okay, so the universe doesn't stop here. Okay, it doesn't stop at my skin. Okay, the universe is everywhere, including me. Okay, I'm going to interchange it back to God. Hey, God is everywhere, including me. Hey, I heard an interesting thing the other day. If you were to take all of the empty space from between all of the atoms that make up your body and you got rid of it, your body would fit on the tip of a pin, not the head of a pin, the tip of a pin. That is how much empty space that this body inhabits. Okay, so all the space between all of my cells and between all the atoms within my cells, if we were to get rid of all of that space, fit on the tip of a pin, which is incredible. An incredible thing to think about. Okay, all of this, the kind of 90 kilos of me, if I got rid of all of the empty space, it would fit on something you can barely even see. Um, so yeah, so what kind of inhabits that space? We could look at it kind of as energy. Okay, there is energy that permeates everything in the universe. Everything is vibrating. Okay, so even though something looks completely still, this table looks still, the cells of my body are not jiggling around, not visibly anyway, but it all is jiggling around. It all has energy. There's a scientific, I suppose, theory at the moment, but people are looking at creating this stuff. I don't know if it's a theory or if it's been proven. Something called 0 point energy. And that is the energy of empty space where supposedly there is nothing. And again, I can include the Earth and you and I in that as well. Even at absolute zero, which is minus 273 degrees, which is the coldest we know that we can go at the moment. Hey, maybe there is colder than that, but absolute zero is current scientific limit of how cold we can go. There is still energy. So what absolute zero means is that an atom should be absolutely still. There should be no vibration. There should be zero energy at this point, at this temperature. But what 0 point energy is the amount of energy we have at absolute zero. So there is still energy at an absolute zero temperature state, which in science should not exist. That should not exist. So there's a bit of a question in my mind, at least, is 0 point energy kind of God? Okay, is that the energy of the universe? Okay, 0 point energy. So all of that aside, okay, I want this to be usable, usable for you. Okay. How can I make that happen? How can I make that happen? We should never be sick. We should never have aches, pains, and injuries. Okay, so a problem in our life, an ache, a pain, or an injury, or a relationship challenge, something that makes you angry, something that makes you upset, something that makes you scared, something that makes you sad. These are all our own perceptions. They are us not seeing the truth of the perfection of everything that there is. Okay, so how can we use this? Let's say you've got an ache or a pain, a knee pain. Let's use a knee pain for just as an example. You could recognize that and go, okay, hang on a minute. Pete's told me that essentially I am God or a part of God, okay, in which everything is. I should not have aches, pains, injuries, right? But I do, okay. And then what you'll notice is a feeling, okay, a sensation in the body, okay, as your belief collides with the truth. Okay, the truth is the universe is perfect. Everything contained within it is perfect. But I am not seeing perfection here. Okay, whether it's an illness, an ache, or a pain, or an injury, okay, or a relationship, or a money situation, or whatever. I'm not seeing perfection. Therefore, I'm seeing falsehood because everything should be perfect. So what I'm seeing is an accumulation of the stories of my past and what I believe is true. Okay, I believe it's true that I can get sick. I believe it's true that I can get injured. I believe it's true that I am not abundant. I believe it's true that I can lack health. I can lack happiness. I can lack peace. I can lack enlightenment. Okay, I've accepted all of those things as true unconsciously. Okay, because I'm just a human. Okay, that's our first mistake. Okay, I'm just a human. Something can go wrong to me. Okay. This does not mean go stand in the middle of the road and expect not to get hit or a car to just miraculously pass through you because you are mostly empty space. Don't do that. That would be unwise. Okay. There's a funny little phrase about, was it knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit and wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. Okay. So in this case, knowledge is knowing that we are infinite, all-powerful, perfect beings. Knowledge is not standing in the middle of the road and not expecting to get hit. Okay. Or wisdom, sorry. Wisdom is not standing in the middle of the road expecting not to get hit. And so yeah, there is that. Okay. So common sense is required. Okay. Common sense is absolutely required. Okay. So when you notice an ache, a pain, an injury, a problem in life, wherever it may be, okay, and I'm still guilty of doing this, okay, and I fully admit that I fall into habitual patterns and stories about what happened yesterday and last week, and I bring them into the present and I say, oh, this happened last week, therefore this must be true, okay, or this happened yesterday, this must be true. Invariably, with the kids getting ready for school every day and getting ready for bed every day, those are my two major problem times. And I assume that today, just like the hundreds of days before it, that bedtime tonight will be the same as bedtime yesterday, and it will be the same as bedtime the day before, and there will be problems, there will be arguments, there will be children not doing the things that I asked them to. Okay, because I've bought into that story, I've added loads of emotion, I've layered emotion after emotion after emotion. There's guilt, mostly guilt and anger. Okay, anger first, and then guilt that I got angry in the first place. Okay, both dumb. Okay, and it's because I'm carrying this story of how I am as a dad, how I am as a husband, how I am as a man, perhaps, how I am, or how my children are, stories that I've created about them, and it's all just stories, stories about coughs and illnesses. Okay, I still carry them, but once I stop, okay, and recognize, and this is what meditation is really for, stop and recognize the truth of the situation, remind myself I am God and everything should be perfect, but it's not. So, and if it's not perfect, I've assumed a lie. Okay, I've created a lie. My ego has created a lie. My whatever, which I have evidence to say that it's true. Okay, and I'm holding on to this book. I'm holding on to this story of this is what this is like. And meditation, and even just stopping and thinking for a moment, is a way of going, hang on a minute. Is this really true? Is what I'm saying, thinking, feeling, emotionally or sensationally through my body, is this true? The answer is, if you are not seeing perfection, is no, this is not true. And that will create some kind of other sensation in your body, which you then want to go and feel. You then want to go and explore it. Maybe you ask it questions. What are you? What's your name even? Okay. How can I help you? Okay. You want to treat it as a friend. Okay. Not an enemy. Okay. An enemy will always fight back. Okay. You start shooting at someone, and if they've got a gun, they're going to shoot back at you. They're not going to say, hey, hold on a minute, let's have a chat. Are they? They're going to start shooting back, and maybe we'll ask questions later, but maybe we won't. Okay. I want you to not fire back. Okay. In this situation, there is no genuine threat to your life. Okay. So you can pause, you can go, hang on a minute, let's make friends with this. Let's communicate with this sensation. Let's communicate it with this feeling. Let's communicate it with my situation in life. Okay. And talk to it. Talk to it kindly. Talk to it as if it were someone you loved. Okay. Or someone you cared for. And I think that is the end of message today. Yeah, nothing else is coming up on that. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to stop recording. Cool.